When you create an aloe to unblock it, works fast to provide relief, lasts long for up to 12 hours. Try the You Iliaden Aloe today.
Like the signs of aging, vitamin reason by L'Oreal Paris, because we're worth it.
So you are protected in terms of sound. If it's on the USB, then it will play.
It's the yes,
Colleagues, we are just sorting out the technicalities only. Within 1 minute or so, we should be able to start.
But I know exams are coming. And
Yeah, but-
most of them
yeah.
will be affected.
So what I will do, I will run my session, and when I'm done, I close it, I give you the.
Yeah, you can ask that.
Okay. Good morning, colleagues. Colleagues who are virtually were starting, eh? Good morning, colleagues.
Morning, thank you, sir.
So, and I'm gonna project us the. Unfortunately, I won't be able to increase. Yeah. Colleagues, comrades, fighters, friends, and everyone. We are good to go. We're starting. Perhaps let's apologize, and I don't know where does this apology will fit in, for starting late. According to our program, we're scheduled to start at 10, but due to other issues that occurred, we had to share platform with colleagues that just finished with you guys. Colleagues who are joining us on the platform, you'll forgive us for that. From the student development, I'm here with the team for the purpose of plagiarism and academic integrity. So we're not going to waste time because we understand that you've been here since from the morning, but we're not going to take shortcuts because of the program. It's very important. So you'll be patient with us. If there are no disruptions and there are no any other thing, we should be done very soon. So I'm appealing to the maximum discipline and maximum cooperation. Our session is the most interactive session. The colleagues are going to make presentations from different departments. Engage them, colleagues. This is for you. So without any waste of time, open and welcome us in the territory.
Elaborate again. I can sit down. Thank you. Is this morning or afternoon? Okay. Good morning once again. I think in the morning I did not welcome you officially. I just welcome my colleagues, but let me take this opportunity to welcome you officially. Although already you know me and then you know my smile, and then I also know how you smile. And then let me take this opportunity for you to take your time to come. I really appreciate that you take your studies so serious. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. So you are welcome, students. If I can welcome everyone, let me welcome my children. You are my children because I'll be your mother here until you finish your studies. So, and then what is very important, I saw with the first session, there were no questions, only one person asked questions. Please ask questions. I always say, sometimes you may think that the question that you have in your mind is a silly question. It's no silly question because you will be assisting the next person. So ask any question so that when you leave here, you will leave with clarity. That is my plea, that let us utilize this opportunity maximally, students. So feel free. And then let me take this opportunity to welcome my colleague from GSAA, Mr. Resdam Mudira. Welcome. And then also we have our colleague Munedi Pilisiwe. Munedi.
Manedi.
Mangmalej. From Rotary, welcome my sister. Welcome already. I know that we spoke. And then Kunsane Madonsela. Inside.
My handwriting is horrible. Sorry, Mama. Sorry, Mama.
You are fired. From disciplinary unit, and then again, our program director, Amos Monare from student development, and then I'm going to behave. Makulbas, what a student. Clarence Mabuza, Deputy President, Mabuza. Is the Deputy President and then is based in nationally. So this is Makulubas. So this one is normally I'm afraid of him. Already he gave me 2 slaps. But welcome leadership. And then among us, I've got the regional SRC, the chairperson, I see the secretary, and also all the leadership. Please wave your hands so that the student can see you at the back there. And I'm wondering, why are you sitting at the back whereas you are the host here? Because you need to come, so that they can know you, so that when they need support, they can know who they must approach. But you are all at the back, okay? The leadership at the back, please, you are welcome. And then also the teams who are the colleagues or the students who are joining us online also feel welcome, and also we request that you also participate, and then feel free. The bulldogs in Mpumalanga, we've tied them in the corner there. So this platform is yours until I say stop.
Thank you.
Welcome, colleagues.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Now that they've welcomed us and they've indicated that all the dogs and the other things that may harm us are on hold or on pause until we're done, then it means we can be ourselves, you know? Colleagues, the only thing that I'm going to say when I'm being myself here is that I've appealed to you for your maximum discipline. I'm a very nice guy, you can pay. I'm a very nice guy, you know. The SRC will tell you because they know me. The first line of defense of the students is the SRC, but the students, they are the ones who are in front. The SRC is seated there at the back. I don't know what's happening, but it's fine. So colleagues, I'll be driving this vehicle. We have a program that is structured here, but I'll be reshuffling whenever a need arises, because I'm given those privileges. Mekoza had already indicated that in our midst we have the Deputy President of the National SRC, but we will give him time to come and address you. Chair, no, you come back. No, yeah, he will come after. I need him. He'll come after. Chair, we want you to address your students on the reasons why we are here, particularly the plagiarism and academic integrity. We're just giving you literally few seconds, Chair, because we are running at a very fast speed. Over to you, Slal.
Bako Mashilane, I'm the regional chairperson. Since I have just a few seconds, I believe you will meet the other colleagues some other time. So today we are here.
Do it fast.
Yeah,
because it's important, or they must know the SRC.
Yes, okay, yeah, maybe we can do it. Can I please start with my the deputy chairperson is Mr. Tabo Malupi. Stand up, chest of the seat.
I mean, you must come in front.
Yeah, please come in the front.
It's fine.
Colleagues, can you all come to the front
Important
so that our student can be asked and then they know.
Continue addressing us while they're coming.
Yeah, since I've introduced you to the deputy chairperson, I will now move to our regional secretary. It's Ms. Tembelite Shabangu. We are having also our speaker. It's Ms. Ayanda Matebu. Then on the left is Ms. Portia Sambo. She's our undergraduate officer. Then moving on, it's Miss Admission Munareng. She's our education and training officer. And then it's Mr. Mpendulo Majoba. He's our sports and cultural officer. And then on his left-hand side, you will see our postgraduate officer. It's Mr. Morris Simdane. And I don't know if we have students based in Middleburg, but if you have a friend or maybe you are from Middleburg, this is our colleague who is based in Middleburg, and contact him. Sorry, and then we have our treasurer, it's Miss Shobisile Nkosi. So this is the rest of the SRT, and then our deputy secretary submitted their apologies. So unfortunately, they couldn't make it in time. But through God's help, I believe they will join us before the event commences. No? So before the event concludes. In English. So this is an example to show that even the SRC is also student. So we are learning. Same as you, and then with that being said, today we are here. We are summoned by the National SRC and also the Department of the Dean of Students. So we are here for the plagiarism awareness campaign. Colleagues and fellow students, we are facing very difficult challenges with this plagiarism. So most of the time is not because we are copying when we are writing our exams and assignments, but also another challenge that we've also experienced is through the invigilation protocols, the apps, and all the systems that are used. We've seen that most students are struggling when it comes to plagiarism. You find that you did your work honestly, but maybe you forgot to sign the honesty declaration, or maybe you were outside your invigilator app for more than 10 minutes, which ended up flagging you, and then it comes out as if you were not honest on your exam or assessment, if I may. So today, I believe we are going to get proper information, and then also let's ask questions so that we get the clarity and proper understanding of what plagiarism really is, and then maybe we can also get some skills on how to maybe reference or create a bibliography or a reference list. With that being said, I would like to say you are welcome as well. I think.
Akanthanzi usihlalo. Because of our foreign fighting. But thank you very much, Slal. Colleagues, just to set the tone, the issue that we are facing as the university, and particularly the students, is that you know, most of our students are flagged. They go through theses, there is the issue of they are alleged that they've plagiarized. I know that, but and I'm not sure what my colleagues are doing because like this time shops to advice. Am I audible? Yeah. Next time I'm not going to be ministry to keep it in my eye. So the primary reason is right here because we many of our students have been subjected to disease simply because they do not know the processes, you know. I don't know whether it's ignorance because the information is there. You know? So we are here to try and check this issue of plagiarism or the students can flag for other reasons. You know, you may be flagged for plagiarism or flagged for not using, you know, the necessary tools that colleagues are going to apply. So it is important that we participate. You know, I'm not going to delve into the issues. Colleagues that are responsible for different departments are here to equip us. So I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to call Tate Mudia to take us through on the processes of exam or exams or examinations. Tate Mudia, until on Namofats.
Okay. Artami. Ushumhol. Artami. Osirius and one.
But in look, Bomzala, Congentin lap. Ke maswa ke most ke mo papela swats.
National. Le mo weta pediwa mo gae a le ra mogetši nna ke nna resta mokinyane mo dira ke twa unisa DSAA okay lingzwela ngisho batho basekhaya aha what we are responsible for, we are responsible for all kinds of assessments, all right, and I will be taking you through that, but we need to start somewhere. You are students of UNISA has got 150 years, and what is important is that you need to commit yourself to certain values of the university, right? Those that have been in the English class, I've seen Ralushai talking about integrity and honesty. That's where we are. Those are the rules of the game. At any material time, if you adhere to the latter to those rules, you'll never get it wrong, right? So integrity, like he have said earlier, is doing things right even when nobody is looking after you or looking for you or policing you. If you are writing your examination, ensuring that one, you are on the invigilator app as required, ensuring that you are not getting assistance from anybody, ensuring that the noise levels are as low as possible. Some have mentioned that their neighbors are forever playing music. But you know better, you know your environment better, you should do something better, isn't it? You know that keep buying, they're not going to change because you're writing exams. So you better go and find a good location where you could actually write your examination. Respect and discipline at all material times. Discipline, where do we want your discipline? On UNISA rules and on the do's and the don'ts when it comes to all the submissions that we'll be making to the university. Commitment to the cause and humanity. One of our visions we are saying towards the African University in the service of humanity, isn't it?
Mm.
So, police. We are not a university of Shambok, as purported on social media to say, as if we enjoy taking people to the what you call to the DC again. Remember what you have said. Somebody has made mention of 10 minutes to say that was one of to say, if you are out of the app as one of the added rules last time, if you are out of the app for 10 minutes, then you are not going to get your results and you're going to get rejected or results not being released because you are outside the app. Why are we doing that? We are doing that because we know how that 10 minutes could affect you in getting wrong assistance and getting wrong advices from wrong people. Again, I couldn't know you're clever. You're not a person of integrity. You put your phone in the toilet, then you go to the toilet, you can fit in. And then you go and write. Is that going to be a submission? Then my good colleague Maneli have actually given another example yesterday in Polokwane. You'll be mentioning that example. Then what kind of a professional are you going to be? We are preparing professionals that should go out there and be able to spread the gospel of that, but of that what you are measuring in, and that what you have said and purported to be knowing better, and you have been certificated for. Right. As a caring university at the beginning of every year, like in the 28th of February, we are saying that those of you that are having a disability should come and give us a letter or a report from the doctor to say what kind of assistance do they need from us, the number of minutes that has to be added in the duration of the examination paper, and then for May, June, it has to be done by the 28th of July. Why are we doing that? We are doing that because those that are affected in this cohort, then we're not going to use the invigilator app for them for as long as they've submitted and they've been recorded as such on the system. Let's talk about the ifs. Should it be that you are involved in an accident and maybe you need extra time, it is the doctor that has to give us that report for us to be able to include you on the system. And when can you do this? Remember, I've made mention of 28 February and 28 July, but for those that are involved in an accident, you can do it 7 days before the actual day of the examination. I'm going to repeat myself. You're involved in an accident 20 days before the exams, you could see that you can still go and write the examination. Maybe your hands have been affected, you need extra time. You apply within 7 days before the actual day of the examination. And then if there's any need that a doctor has said that we must give you so many minutes per hour, then you should be able to record that, and you'll form part of this cohort that you're not going to choose the invigilator. Am I clear? Okay, we don't know what's happening in your lives. Please talk to us for us to be able to know and assist you accordingly. The kind of assessments that we have as DSAA, we've got formative assessments. The English, the assignments that we have to submit, they are under formative assessments, okay? And it's got the actual examination with the summative assessments. And it's got your continuous assessment. On your formative assessments, and what is the role of submitting the formative assessments? One, it is mandatory that you submit assignment 1 for you to be able to get admission to write examination, right? And then equally so, it is not mandatory, but it is for you, for a good cause, that you also submit the additional assignments and how are you going to be assisted for you to better your formative mark. Why should you better your formative mark? Formative mark contributes 20% of your final mark. Your summative mark, which is the actual examination that you are going to sit for from the 2nd week of May, is 80%. Here is a trick about it. Should you get, there is a sub-minimum of 40%. You might have 100% year mark and have 37% as a summative mark or exam mark. The year mark is not going to kick in because of the sub-minimum that has been set on the assessment plan. So you should always go for 40% plus into actual examination for the year mark to be able to assist you. Right, the rule and the policy still comes in and say in your first examination at all material time, your year mark will kick in. Those of you that are going to write first exams now in May, June, your year mark is going to be calculated regardless of the sub-minimum. Am I clear? Because it's the first examination. Majority of your modules at undergraduate are set at -1, meaning you've got 2 opportunities. Be it you have set for the examination or didn't sit for the examination, you will still get another opportunity in October, November. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? No. All modules that are on undergraduate that are having a supplemental, they've got 2 opportunities. The ones that do not have 2 opportunities are portfolios and practicals. Am I clear? Is your module in English 1504 is it part of the portfolio? If it's part of the portfolio, then it doesn't have the second examination opportunity. But if it's not and it has a supplementary, it means that if you do not write now or you're finishing and field now, you'll get another opportunity in October without really studying the points. So now I'm saying that on the first examination, year mark kicks in, regardless. On the second examination, year mark only kicks in when it advantages the student. Am I clear, colleagues? On the second examination, year mark only kicks in when it advantages the student. Right, no, still on the same. We are having two kinds of exams. You've got, or three kinds of exams. You've got MCQs. You've got the open book and closed book. On the open book, the lecturer will then say to you on tutorial the 1-1 or on the announcements that as when you'll be writing examination on the 3 hours that you've been provided, you are compelled to go and visit 1, 2, 3, 4, which are the links or reference books or any other web page. The lecturer will tell you that how many minutes are you going to visit those pages, meaning that you'll be out of the app as compelled and as advised by the lecturer to go and visit that particular link and come back on the examination. It happens a lot in the education department. But now, what is key and important is for you to be able to read those rules, to know the do's and the don'ts on the day of the examination, before you're going to point a finger at us and say, this is something that you are not doing right. Oh, yes. Right. We'll be sending the examination timetable not long. We'll be running the admission program somewhere on the 20th of April. And then that examination timetable will be telling you which exams are you going to write, what kind of proctoring is going to be used on that examination, on what examination platform are you going to get that particular examination paper, and what are the do's and the don'ts of that. Is it an open book or is it a closed book? Okay, very important. We are always saying that if the examination duration is 3 hours, you are having 30 minutes to do the uploading, not 30 minutes to do the writing, but to do the uploading. But majority of you wants to do it in African way or South African way of writing up until and using the 20 minutes. And before you know it, all of you wants to submit and do the upload on the 11th minute of that 30 minutes. It's not going to fly. It's going to be bumper to bumper situation. It's going to hang. Right. Again, have you seen it before? So it's important to be people of integrity, to be honest to yourself, write for the 3 hours, and for the last 30 minutes, struggle with the upload. Remember, we've got logs. We can see what we've been doing and when. When you'll be doing an appeal and saying to Maneli, I've done it on time, but it wasn't working. We go on the logs and die. When we are not here to promote lies. Again, because when God was giving you that skill, we were not there. We were just not there. So be honest to yourself. The values that I've actually referred to at the beginning, those you'll never get wrong when you adhere to those. Then there's rule 14 on portfolios, which have been added last year to say that it doesn't matter what kind of examination you are writing. For as long as you're going to play a particular audio next to you, being heard by the system to say you are playing an audio that talks to the paper that you are writing, you are equally wrong. And then you'll fall in the wrong hands of Maneli. Go back again. And then rule 12 also for MCQs, signing off the pledge to say that it is only you that is submitted that way. I'm only citing those two. Why? Because those two are the only ones that have been added last year after we have added the 10 minutes rule. Remember before then, in the first semester of 2023, 10 minutes was not there. It was there, but we've forgiven people and we've sent an amendment to say, going forward October, it's not going to fly. Always important to contact the SCSC at all material times when you're encountering problems, technically also. Why? Because they do have the functionality to can actually assist you remotely from whatever corner of the world you are. Again, House Manil will also be talking about the technical people that could assist as we move towards results code. When you will be receiving, after you have written your examination, obviously on the 14th of July, we will be releasing the results. On the result, you'll have different descriptions. Amongst others, that makes you to cry is the one that says absent supplementary, meaning you have failed to use proctoring tools to the latter as when you were writing the examination. Secondly, script rejected. It means that you have failed to use, if it's a second examination opportunity, you have failed to use the proctoring tools at the beginning of the first examination opportunity and then on the second. Meaning, if it says script rejected, right, just go and re-register. All right. But now, remember, we are a caring institution. We are even saying that please appeal if you feel that when I did everything right. But those that are they are listening to their conscience will say, but I know I didn't do it right. I'm not going to appeal, I didn't. But there are those that are pushing and trying their luck and thinking that prayer will come in our hearts and will change. We're not going to change. It's a matter of principle. Disciplinary pending, when it says DC, disciplinary pending on your results, it means that the lecturer, after having had a report from Manili, to a report, and then is just ready to submit to our one and only one Kensani to put you on the agenda of those that will be called for hearing. It means there's a cause and there's a reason and there's something that we have to answer to. Okay? And we have to wait for the university from the DC office to give you further information. Exams or any other person, even the lecturer, is not going to assist you at that time because the matter is sub judice. He reflected already. He's got an intention of saying you've got something to respond to. So don't even try. The only office that you can actually try to say when is DC office, but there don't be any assistance at the beginning. But in a month's time, you should be able to get information. And here is their email address as we move. But remember on DC that people who have been flagged for DC doesn't mean that cannot re-register. You can re-register whilst awaiting the hearing date and to see as to whether you're going to for green or for red. Red being given a sentence and then green being that you've proven your case successfully. And they will give you another chance or they will withdraw the case. There are students that are sending us material that you cannot actually see, right? You know, is there any of you that is using a module that has a turning pin here? The two of you at the back. On turning in, what happens is that, let's cite an example where we are having 3 assignments. We are saying you submit assignment 1, assignment 2. That's where you'll be getting the certificate to turn it in, the Aula one, again. And then the third one, that's where we are then seeing that you are roadworthy, you know what turning is, and then you are going to do the third one, which could be the portfolio. On that third one, we are saying that any handwritten information cannot be used on it. Am I clear? Turnitin cannot read any handwritten information. And colleagues, please, this is one of the tools that we are using, and there is no way that we are going to go back about it because it has been used in the market for some time. Turn it in, submit on time. If your assignment is due on Friday, submit on Monday. Should it be that there are delays in terms of report on the percentage similarity index or context, then you should be able to go and do the correction and be able to submit. Don't submit on 11th hour. If the assignment of that portfolio is due on Friday, and whenever you want to submit it on Friday, then you are not going to get an opportunity. You are denying yourself an opportunity of getting corrections. Because we have seen at times it could delay a day or two, isn't it? Has it delayed for you? It can delay for a day or two. So you are submitting today is the last day. What do you expect? Then when it gets to the lecture, it says 80% similarity index. Then you fail. Again, and more like the way that you submitted, Tanzania will be taking through some of the things or some of the pages that you think you are clever in visiting. Right. Those that could not use the proctoring tool to the latter at the first examination opportunity, they will still, as majority of your undergraduate modules are at -1 and you've got 2 opportunities. If you are registered to write that module now in May, June, and we haven't used the proctoring tools to the latter, you'll still be deferred to the next examination opportunity. And should it be that you don't use it in October, then it is going to change the result description into rejected examination script as we move. Outstanding results, it means that the university is acknowledging that they've received something from you. There could be delays in marking that particular script. One of the reasons that makes us to delay in marking the scripts, it could be password protected scripts. It could be scripts that are not they are not visible. Okay, those are the 2. But what we do is that we're having our own internal processes where we'll be trying to at least resuscitate that particular document to ensure that it's readable and it could be marked. And should it be that we did all that we can and then we cannot win, then if it's a module that we can actually defer you to the next examination opportunity, we'll do that because it is you are right, the right thing to do. But should it be that is a portfolio, is a practical, and there's no supplementary on that module, you must know that you have to read a filter. We're not trying to be cold on this one. We are saying that we also have a responsibility to ensure that the work that we have sent to us is readable and the work that we have sent to us is not password protected. As we move. Right. What to expect after being flagged? Remember, I'm talking about flags, about that talks to the non-usage of the what you call of the app, and then flags that also talk to plagiarism, the DC flags, all of these flags. If you've got a flag of DC, obviously you don't know the mark that you've attained in that particular examination. Am I right? Am I right? If you are being flagged for DC, you don't know the mark. Do you know the mark? You know the mark because you've been blocked again. So you cannot apply for a remark because there are permutations that allows one to apply for a remark, which would be 35 to 49 and 68 to 74 for distinction reasons. So you'll not be able to apply for a remark if you've been flagged for plagiarism, or if your script has been rejected because of non-usage of the app, because there won't be a mark on your result sheet. FI concession also is something that I'm not going to get. FI concession is a policy that we use for students that are left with 1 or 2 modules to complete their qualification. And of course, we have added on that policy to say students should have written the examination and got 30%. We're also not going to get that. Why? Because there's no mark on your results sheet or on your record. Deferment will not be giving you a deferment on plagiarized cases, but remember, we are saying that on non-usage of the app, where supplementary is applicable, it is a second opportunity. It's the right thing. Then the system will also give you the what you call second opportunity. Purchasing of script, Tanzania will touch a bit about that to say what evidence will they be sending to you, as in when you're going to be called for a hearing of some sort. What could they still do? Those that have been flagged or request, you can do the re-registration. When you are being flagged for DC, you can re-register the module. And then as in when you have actually finished with whatever suspension that they've given you, we are also responsible to ensure that we remove the block and then ensure that you get back into your academic career. Right? Right. These are the email addresses that have to be used for your query to be answered to as soon as possible. Make sure that you use the right email address. Religious students at unisa.ac.za. What would you use that particular email for? You use it if you've been scheduled to write your examination on Saturday, and on Saturday it's your religious day for you to attend the church. You go to a pastor or your priest, let them give you an authentic letter letterhead stamped by the church to come and apply for your exam to be rescheduled. Okay? Yes. We are aware that Saturday is not a Saturday that all of us, there are churches that says on Saturday you don't do anything. So we can't close the door for them. So we are saying that let them just give us the letter and then we should be able to reschedule the examination. It's only meant for that. Okay.
Yes, so if I may, I would like to ask, what other step can you take should it happen that your church that is not that sophisticated, that it doesn't even have those stamps?
Yeah.
Yes. How else can you also submit your query with regards to you not being able to write on a Saturday?
Okay. Colleagues, you on undergraduate, those of you that have been with us for some time, you know that I think the national office can agree with this. We had an opportunity where undergraduate students can apply for an accreditation, submitting a medical certificate and an affidavit, not later than 10 working days after the writing date. That process was abused. I'll tell you why, Chairperson, before I come to you. A person will go to the police station, and the police station will agree by stamping a particular affidavit to say a person was ill. Is that right? Police station attesting that you were ill when it's got headache. And now we are also saying to this again, we are all born in South Africa. Again, you are not going to come with a letter from the ZCC to say on Saturday whether you are going to get. But Sabbath we know on Saturday they are there. And then we are only but saying that we are guided by international standard. The international standard says that which is authentic is that which is for the letterhead and it's for the official stamp. You get it by hook or crook, we don't care. Bring it to us. But should it be that we suspect it, then Kenzani comes in. Again, see, now we are only by saying that bring us something that is authentic. We don't even want to say and abuse our knowledge of the church systems. Just bring us something that you believe and when you have satisfied yourself that is right. But should it be that it gets investigated and you find that when the letter for internet cave, because hey, they're producing them. Internet cave, they produce everything and they stamp everything. So we are not going to allow any of our systems to be ambushed like that and to be having letters and documents that are coming from the back door. We are only but saying that we know that in a normal cloud, upon registration, Ms. Kosa, you are having a timetable ready. In the good olden days, a timetable was made available before the actual registration, because we have had the rule to say that we are not going to be responsible for any clashes. That was back then. But now, because of online, the number of students that are admitted into the examination or how we put in our timetable depends on what the systems can take on a day or on an hour. Our systems can take 5,000 students per hour. So if your module you are going to register, you're going to have 8,000 students, it means they should have 2 groups. So wait for registration first, and then that we do the timetable. We cannot even use historical data as we've been doing in the past. In the past, it doesn't matter how many you've registered. If you are too many in Nelspruit, we'll go and source another one. But on one platform, on one cloud where everybody has to send in, we need to be careful, because if you are not going to be careful, then the systems are going to clash, as we know, or to crash. Like exam disability, I've already spoken about it to say, should it be that you're involved in an accident days before the day of the examination and you feel strong that you can write, but you need extra time, then you can use that particular email address to apply for sale. Exams at unisa.ac.za, any examination related matter could be sent there. Purchasing of scripts, you can send it there. Purchasing of script, Provision of Information Act or Access to Information Act 2 of 2000. You'll apply. We'll send you the form. You fill in the form, send it to us. We'll charge you and then give you an examination script. Remark: at unisa.ac.za. There was a very important question I had yesterday in Polokwane. You scored 35%, you applied for remark, the script comes back, says you've got 3 from the external examiner. If you have purchased the first script of 35, even the second script for 3, that has got the comments of the remarker. If you want to see that to satisfy yourself, you're still going to go the same process of marking it. It's not the same student. 35 into one. The comments will obviously not be the same. This one could say this one there's been leniency and might actually pick some unwarranted patterns and then do it by the book, by the memorandum as they've given him. I'm sure if colleagues, good colleagues, as I'm done with my presentation, one of the reasons why we are here, we came here to come and sow a sort. That's what I've started with at Polokwane. Say when you sow a sort, you reap an action. When you reap an action, when you sow an action, you reap a habit. When you sow a habit, you reap a character. And when you sow a character, you reap a destination. We do not want a situation whereby you have started with us and you get so tired that you don't even get to the winning line. We wish you good luck and do everything possible by adhering to the values that are needed to. And you adhering and plugging yourself to us and plugging yourself to the values that I've just said at the beginning. Surely we'll see you at what hall are you using for graduation?
Yes, communion hall.
We'll see you at communal halls and you do a difference in your communities, and it is through you that UNISA will best be marketed in your community. Good luck in all that you do academically. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ntate Modiga. Colleagues, you've heard the presentation. You've heard the processes of the assessment, post-formative and the examination. Are there any questions? You don't have questions? Are you sure, colleagues? Don't be shy, you know. These are the very important things, because this is where you get your problems. So we're done, we're clear. We've heard that everybody has correct. It's fine. That's good. We're moving to the next presenter. It's Memoneli, who is going to take us through proctoring tools. I'm laughing at me. They know I struggle with this way. So,
I'm not
yeah, yeah, but it's proctoring tool, right?
Proctoring.
Yeah, proctoring tool.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I projecting at the back? Okay. As introduced, I'm PDC Wemanedi, and I'm going to be dealing with the subject of proctoring tools. In the university, we've got 3 proctoring tools that we use mainly. I know we hijacked this class of ENN, so I'm not sure if there are other students who are doing EUC in this class. EUC. Any other students from engineering? CTA? Nothing. Okay. That means I'm going to be dealing with a invigilator app and remotely only. Okay, we've got these 3 proctoring tools in the university that we use. And the reason why we're using these proctoring tools in the past, I know most of the students that are here today are the first years, but in the past, you used to have a venue-based exam. Like your exam that you have in your matric, where you have the invigilators doing the Johnny Walker in the class, walking around in the class to ensure that there is no cheating that takes place. So since we've gone online with the COVID-19, then we started writing our exam online. So these 3 tools were introduced to ensure the academic excellency or academic integrity in the university, to make sure that the qualification that you obtained at the end of the year is credible. We're going to be doing the whole lot of these matters as we go in. Okay, as Tate Modiga already alluded that we have exemptions on our proctoring tools for the students that are incarcerated, meaning the students who are in prison. You might be here today and find out tomorrow you are incarcerated because you had traffic fines that were outstanding for the past 10 years, and you find yourself now in jail, or you have knocked somebody in the street, God forbid. But for whatever reason, you find yourself in jail by the date of the exam, you are then you will have to apply for the exemption so that you won't be allowed to use the proctoring tool. And if you also have the disabled student or differently able student amongst us, they are also exempted from the use of the proctoring tools, Invigilator app, Iris, or the Moodle. But in order for you to qualify, it's not automatically granted to the student. You need to apply for these exemptions. So if you know that you are a differently able student, you need to send the letter from your doctor. You don't just come and tell us that you have a disability and you think we're going to automatically grant you an exemption. But you send the letter from your doctor that states the type of disability that you've got. As Ntate has said, because with other disabilities, we need to grant you an extra time for you to write the exam. So, but also with the proctoring tool so that we can ensure that we remove you from those who are supposed to use the proctoring. And if we are incarcerated, then you'll have to provide us with the letter from the correctional service, meaning you'll have to inform the warrants, correctional warrants to say that you are writing exam with UNISA. They need to secure you a letter for exemption. Okay. I said I'm going to be dealing only with 2 proctoring tools here because we don't have any students from the College of Engineering and Technology. The Moodle, which is mostly used in all the departments, all the colleges of the university. With those, we normally use it's the MCQs. MCQs, it's the quiz questions where you are the multiple choice. Multiple choice, it's MCQ. So that one, you can use it on your smartphone and also on your laptop or desktop to download it, because as you're accessing your question paper, then the model start invigilating you from there. It will be randomly taking pictures of you while you are writing exam. Why do we do that? Is to ensure that the student who is registered with the university is the same one who's sitting for that exam. We don't want the ghost writers, and we're avoiding that. So to ensure that your qualification, you actually work for it, you must be the student who is writing that exam. And then we've got the Invigilator app. The Invigilator app is used mostly also in the university, except from the College of Engineering, Science and Technology. With the Invigilator app, you only need your smartphone to access it. I'm just going to quickly play a video on how to access. Pardon? Okay, I'm going to play a video on how to access your Invigilator app. Looks like technology is failing us. Okay, it's fine. I'll just explain how this one works. With the Invigilator app, you access it the same way that you'll be downloading your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your TikTok. On your phone, you simply go to your your app store, and then from there you just type in Invigilator app, and then you download it. After you've downloaded university, I think by now we all know that in order for you to communicate with the university, you need to use the email address provided by UNISA, which is the My Life account. So even when you register for the Invigilator app, you need to use that email. Don't use your Gmail account, your Yahoo, or your work account. It's not going to take it, because with each and every student, you need to be granted a license. And with that license, you only obtain it using your email address from the university. So if you're going to be using the private one, you're not going to get access to the Invigilator app. And with the Invigilator app, requires the student to grant UNISA access to your location and also to your microphone. So meaning that while you are writing your exam, it will be capturing the sound around you. Hence, we say we understand that there are issues since you will have to be writing at home, but try by all means to find a quiet space. We're not saying we're going to flag you if you are going to be writing around the family members who will be chatting, pushing about what is happening in the township. No, we'll still listen to what is being said on the recording and flag you only when what is being discussed there has to do with the thing. But if it's just the background generation that is playing or is inside, we're not going to flag you, but we're just saying if you can, please try to get a quiet space to go and write into. And then while you're also writing, we've spoken of the has spoke of the out of app. With the out of app, the student with the Invigilator app that you're going to be using to invigilate you, it has a little block at the right corner, where it allows you, while still on the Invigilator app, to access your mind model. So in that way, we are not flagged out of app when you go and access your question paper. So that applies to the student that will be using the Invigilator app as well as the My Model in the same phone. So you can still use one phone to both write your exam and also being invigilated into it without being out of app. But as soon as you go to your WhatsApp to go and ask your friends about question number 2, what do you understand about it? Then we start flagging you for the out of app. Okay. And then also with the GPS failures, if you are going to be writing as in SAM, it means you are going to have a group discussion, and we are going to be writing as a group, busy discussing the answers, thinking that you are cheating. The GPS is going to be flagging you on how many students, because with each and every app, it takes your username, which is your student number. To say that this student number, this one, they were sitting in close proximity, and we then flag you. We send the information to the lecturer. The lecturer, upon receiving those reports about the GPS failures, they will then check to compare the screens to see if these 2 students or 4 students, they were discussing together, or it just happened that they were writing here in the regional office next to each other, but they never discussed. So the lecturer will then, based on that findings, will then forward the information either to us in the proctoring office or to Ms. Matonsela in the disciplinary office to say that we are taking the student for a disciplinary because we have found discrepancies in their scripts. Okay. Okay, I think I've already covered that. These are the departments that uses the Invigilator, the colleges that uses the Invigilator app. It's the College of Economics and Management Sciences, the College of Law, the College of Accounting and Sciences, College of Education, the College of Human Sciences, which most of you are from, and the College of Agriculture. Those, they use both the Invigilator app and the module to write their exams. And if you are registered for the college of this other college, but you have the EUC as a signature course, which is the computer, then you'll also be using the IRIS, even though you are registered in those other colleges. Okay, I've already discussed this one. Okay, it is very important for you as a student, especially the first-time student. We normally give you the tutorial letter 101. With that tutorial letter, it's your introduction to the university. And as a university, our aim is to ensure that since we're in a distance education, we're going to have a lecturer come in the class to explain things to you, or having the admin officer outside of the class, but everything is done remotely. So with that information that is provided, it's for you to read. It's not there to decorate your desk or your school bag, but it's for you to read that information, familiarize yourself with the university's rule. And prior to the exams, we also provide you with the online exam rules. Please go through them thoroughly, because if you miss those, then you're going to be coming back after the results has been issued that I didn't get my results because of ABC, while you actually in the wrong because you never read those rules, and now you transgress the university's rules. And we are very strict now. We no longer lenient because we communicate everything prior to the exam. The university has even brought us here from our different regions to make sure that we come and address you live, so that we provide this information to you and we have these interactions, so that if there's anything that you don't understand, you ask of us, we provide clarity. On the day of exam, you already have the stress of the exam. You don't need an extra stress. So make sure that you come thoroughly prepared. So in order for you to be thoroughly equipped, you also need to know the proctoring tools that your modules is going to be written on. And the Invigilator app will always say, please, if you're going to be using the Invigilator app, download the app at least 3 days before the date of it. At least. That is your latest. Because after you have downloaded the app, we still need to calibrate. We still need to confirm your email. But don't do it today after this presentation, because we're only going to grant you the license on the Invigilator app after the exam admissions. Meaning in late April, after they've done the after they've calculated the assignment that you have sent to the university, and we see that you actually qualify to sit in for the exam. Only then will we also grant you access to the Invigilator app. So don't start downloading now, because if you download now, then you'll be coming to say that, hey, it says my email address is not confirmed by the university. Okay. All right. All right. I've already said you must download it in time. Okay. On the Invigilator app, while you are writing, it's going to ask you to take a selfie as a profile picture. We are familiar with the profile pictures. So that is the picture that you're going to be using to check you against your submissions. Meaning the picture that when you write on the date of exam, when you take the selfie picture, when it prompts you to say, take a picture of yourself, you ought to take a picture of you. And it must be the same, not the same picture, but whether you had, women today, I've got this hairstyle, tomorrow I'll be wearing the weave or the wig or whatever. So, but if it's your face, whether it's casting, we know you're writing an exam on that day, you don't have your makeup, but it must still be your picture on the profile picture. And it must be clear with no mask. If you're wearing spectacles, please take them off and take your selfie, and then you put it back. The reason is to make sure that it's the same person. We're still on the authentication, okay? And then it will also be requiring you to take the picture of your ID copy or your license or your student card. This is for identification purposes, to authenticate the student against. And later on, it will ask you to take a picture of the page that you are currently writing. And later on, another page. So if we say take a page that you are currently writing now, you cannot take a question 1 for both pictures that will be prompting you. because you ought to have moved. We're not going to be asking within 5 minutes to say, take another picture. So we need to see that the page that you are writing now and the page that you are writing, then it must be at least page 4 or page 3, not on the same page, okay? And then at the end of your exam, it will ask you to take the pictures of all the pages. And the reason we say all the pages is to make sure that remember, we provide you with the exam duration, either 2 hours or 3 hours to write the exam. And after then, you must stop writing, and then it's the 30 minutes for you to upload. But other students, they cheat the system, they still continue writing, and those ones are the ones that end up not being able to upload, because by the time they're trying to upload, the system is packed, it's jammed, and their submission don't go through. So if you don't have a submission on my exam portal, which will be your Moodle, you at least need to upload on the contingency link. Your lecturers will also provide this information. Hence, I say, please make sure you go through all the information that is sent to you. You'll have the My Exam Portal, which is the official one, and then you have another one, which is the contingency, meaning if you're having technical issues accessing submitting on My Exam portal, then you use the contingency one. But failure also to submit on the contingency, then the one that you have submitted on the invigilator app, we can use it as a last resort. So if you only took 2 pictures when you say upload, then that means you only have 2 pages for us to submit to a lecturer to mark, and you cannot come back and try to us when you only obtain 20% on your exam, okay? So make sure that you follow all those promptings to the core, because at the end of the day, they assist you. Again, if what you have submitted or on your My Exam Portal, if you submitted on My Exam Portal your question paper, or some of the students, they can be very sticky. Some of them, they just took a picture of anything that is in front of them. And the other one took a picture of the airtime receipt as their submission, and they put it on the invigilator app. And later on, their submission didn't go through on the My Exam Portal. When they requested us to say, please get me the submission on the invigilator app, then we found the slip of an airtime. That's what you sent to your lecturer, because that's what you submitted. So whatever that is there, and if you do the same mistake with My Exam Portal, you put that airtime slip on your exam, on the My Exam Portal on Moodle, and you put the correct one on the invigilator app. Unfortunately, the one that is regarded by the university as the primary submission is the one on My Exam. So if you had the correct one on invigilator app, you're not going to consider it if there is a submission on My Exam or on your contingency. Are we clear on that? Thank you. Okay, because we're going to be killing 2 birds today with 1 stone, I'm just going to do the exam preparedness. This is to allow you to see if you have problems. I hope it will play. These are the errors that you'll normally find. Okay, unfortunately, it doesn't want to play. Because that would have been the errors that you will encounter when you're doing your when you're writing the exam with your invigilator app. But whatever errors that you're going to be encountering on the invigilator app, please, we've got these numbers here. I'm also going to project them at the end of my presentation. Please take note of them. This number, the 073-505-8273, this is a WhatsApp number, not a number to call, but a WhatsApp. Here you only send a screenshot of the error that you will encounter of the day of exam when you are writing your exam. If you get an error message on your invigilator app, then you're going to take the screenshot and then you send it to this WhatsApp number, that screenshot. But if they're taking long for you to answer, please call us on this number 011-471-2433. 011-471-2433. This is a real-time number, meaning that we assist you in real time. If you are stuck either accessing your question paper or you are stuck with any technical issues on the proctoring tools, you call this number and we are able to assist you immediately in real time. The reason why we say students must take the picture of the error message and send it to this number is in case the technical issue that you might have had, we're unable to resolve it. We then are able to exempt you, meaning you are able to release your results even though you wouldn't have used the app at that time. Are we clear? Are we clear? Yes. I feel like I'm presenting on Teams, whereby you just talk alone and there's no reaction. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to be dealing with these ones because they have to do with iris. Okay, the important notice. Fortunately, we have been had load shedding now for a couple of weeks. We hope it stays like that, as also Deputy President also promised us that we're not going to be having load shedding in the future. But should you have load shedding on the date of exam, please, with the load shedding, they'll normally say that tomorrow we're going to start again having load shedding. Please check your schedule. And if you are able to, please move to a place where they're not going to be load shedding. If not, I think here in the facility, do you allow the student to come and okay. Yes, you can come here in the university and write. You see, we are a caring university, you always make means. And then the university also have different hubs that they partnered with so that you can go to the internet cafe, but please make sure that the hub that you are going, please make sure that you check with the region of which internet cafes have partnered with the university to allow you to write the exams there. Okay, please make sure you do that as part of your exam preparation. Don't come a day before the exam. And then if your computer crashed while you are writing, the university is not responsible for that. If your webcam cannot be detected by a computer, it's also not our problem. These are the things that you need to ensure that they are working on the day of exam. And please, we also urge the student go through to your mock exams. We've got mock exams and there's a web on the My UNISA page. They are mock exam, MOCK. This is to allow you to either check your proctoring tools if they are working. It will just take you through to different stages to make sure that it's in working order, and also your exam to see how you're going to be downloading the paper. Don't do it on the day of the do it at least 2 days so that if there are any issues, we are able to call us and we are able to assist you with technical issue so that on the day of exam, you are nice and relaxed and just the only stress you have is the one of the question paper because you won't know what the lecturer has said. And if your licensing is also not in order or it has expired, it's not the university's fault because we also provide you with Microsoft 365. So all these ones, it's not the university's fault. And if you're going to be using your neighbors or your friends in data app, please make sure you still log in with your own credentials. Don't just say, my mother already is registered with UNISA. I can just take a cell phone and use it for the English data app. If you go in there, at least register on there, log in with your own credentials and don't use the credentials of another, because if you do that, the system just picks up your email address and then links it on the XMO. If we don't find you on the Invigilator app, when we are importing the information, then that means we are going to regard you as someone who didn't use the proctoring tool. And if you don't use any of the proctoring tools, then you have not been exempted. know that you're not going to receive your results, okay? Don't come and try to explain about which we don't take stories, okay? And you can come to the next part. We are with your SRC now. So we are explaining all these things in front of your SRC. We've got the regional and the national. So there's no bushugut to say that no university is trying to make the student. That is not the case. And another thing that I need to mention, with the invigilator app, we also compare answers. We know we've got the ghostwriters, those people that are busy sending you SMSs to say we can assist you with the assignment. They come back again when the exam is closed to say we can actually provide you with the answer. Just send us a 350 and we'll send you an exam script to upload. You do that and we'll flag you. Because with the IA, we've got now a very intellectual systems. Now they're able to pick up different scripts that were submitted by different students in different times to say that these scripts they look the same. And we're going to flag you and you'll end up in the DC office because we'll say that you were cheating the system, you were copying from each other, and therefore it's not your own work. Because you think that you are going to be the only one who would have bought that script for 350. They say for 108 or 350 will give you the script. How many of you are registered for ENN that are going to get the same script? I think it was you who asked the question about if you just take from the example that they made on the tutorial letter and just change the names of the people and submit them as your own way. That is also a pity. For the document comparison is there to pick up such things. It will flag you, and when you compare the data that is there, you'll see that this student actually cheated. Then we'll then take you to the disciplinary office. So please, the reason why you are studying is to make sure that you understand the work that you are writing, because tomorrow you're going to be in the workplace, you need to apply this information. We are not here just to fill a head with data. No, we want you to give us your own understanding of what you have read. Okay. So okay, these are the numbers again that I provided, and we also have an email. The email, please use it after you've had problems. Don't send an email on the day of exam to say I'm unable to download the paper. Because we are not going to be sitting next to the computer reading the emails. We'll be assisting those who are calling in the real time to say, I'm having a problem. So if you come back at 12 o'clock after the exam has finished to say, I had a problem of downloading or uploading, or I had a problem with my invigilator app, we can't assist you by then. So just be ready to write in the next exam period. So this is our email address, proctoringenquiries@unisa.ac.za. Are we good? Can I pass? I saw someone still writing. Okay. All right. And at the end, we say study to show yourself approved. The workman that needed not to be afraid, but rightly dividing the word of truth. So please, student, we cannot overemphasize this one. Please study and know your work. Don't copy, don't go to ChatGPT, don't go to any of those AI and softwares that are there on the system. Read and understand and apply the work that you have done. So because I see there's already a hand at the back.
Take the questions.
Okay, I'm going to take the questions now. I saw a hand sitting. You can answer.
Shop steward voice.
Stand up. Stand up. You know, can speak to me.
Shop steward voice, no bad.
are not, they're not the same. This is the one that they are doing, so in that regard, normally what should we do?
Okay, with the contingent billing, remember if your PNN 1501 is being written from 8 until 10, and then we are then giving 30 minutes for you to upload, that means your paper, the contingency link will be available until 10:30. If you come a minute late, then the contingency link closes. And students, what they will then do is to find any link that is open and they hold in their their submissions there, thinking that at least the university is still going to receive it. Forgetting that it's different lecturers that are marking this. So if your submission then goes under PYC 1501, unfortunately, it's going to be regarded as a non-submission because that means the portal or the link for your module was already closed. So you cheated the system because now we just put on any that was available. So that is the issue. So if the link for ENN 1504 is now closed, then that means you were late on the submission. And if you didn't submit, remember the one on the invigilator app, it closes after 8 minutes. So if you had already submitted on the invigilator app, then even though this one on the contingency closes, if this one is available, you will still mark it. Okay. And one thing I also forgot to mention with the invigilator app, even though it closes after 8 minutes, there is a possibility that the system can end after you click on, after you've taken the pictures and click on finish assessment. When it starts hanging at that time, don't stay there and wait for it to submit. As long as you've already taken all the pictures and click on finish assessment, just jump to my exam portal and start uploading there. And then the one on the invigilator app, it allows you to finish that submission within 48 hours, meaning within 2 days, you will still be able to go back to your submission. On the invigilator app, you simply go on the side there, you'll see those 3 lines, like 3 or 4, and then you click on them. When you click, it opens, and then on that page, you're going to find an option that says pending uploads. If you have anything under pending uploads, just go there and just go and say finish uploading. Then it will then send that whatever submission that was still hanging. And you also get a reminder of that submission that is hanging. So you'll get an email to say that you have an assessment that is still needs to be finished or needs to be finalized on the invigilator app. So some students, they ignore those reminders, and then when the results are being released, then they come and say, but I did use the app and everything, but I didn't receive the results. If you didn't finish that submission, unfortunately, that means the data of everything that transpired during the time that you are writing exam, we did not receive as the university. It's still on your phone, and because we didn't receive it, we don't know if you've cheated the exam or not. Hence, we are holding those results, and even if we can now come back after the exam are released to finalize that submission, unfortunately, you're still not going to get your results. So hence I said, please familiarize yourself with the online exam rules, because that is also in the rules. Any submission that is hanging, when you get that notification, or even though you had problem, you didn't get that tick that says that the submission went through, or you don't have a reference number next to the module code that you are writing, please go back later on in the day or the following day to check if you have any submissions that is hanging there. Okay. Any other question? Maybe the SRC can help with the question based on the queries that they normally get, because it's mostly the newcomers here. They might not be familiar with the system.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope I'm audible enough. There was this instance where a student was writing multiple choice, and they were using the model proctoring.
Yes.
So what happened is that the student entered the exam and then allowed the camera. Yes. And then they were facing network challenges, and then they went out. And when they came back, that pop-up message was no longer appearing. But then the exam platform kept prompting the student to allow the camera, but the message was not copied for her to, in order to allow or decline.
I think what will be a secure way that we can advise the students to do when you're going to be writing, especially on your laptop or your desktop, please go to whichever browser you're going to be using, be it a Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Go to your settings, and there on your settings, allow your camera to share. Click on the allow so that whenever you use the camera will be on the allow, automatically goes in. Because if you put it on ask, then you'll have those technicalities. And according to my presentation, you saw that any issue that is not our own doing, it's not our problem, not our monkey, not our circus. So make sure that you don't have those technical issues. So I think that's the best advice I can give to students. Go to your settings and open the on the allow, because it will be your own device that had an issue. It's not a university's problem. Any other question, SRCs? Or also have shy at SRC? Normally, the SRC are very vocal.
Yeah, no.
All right, no questions. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to hand it back to the program director.
No, thank you very much. We are not expecting any students from here or who attended here to be flagged. Sal, if a student comes, where's DP? The student says they are flagged, they're not. We take it that you understood everything. So I'm not expecting or you are going to be flagged. But interestingly, Nopala, when she asked that question, sure. I like quickly I was running my mind wild to say that, say for instance, we're in a physical exams or venue based, and I guarantee there are set times, we are writing for 3 hours, and then there will be that 10 minutes that they will say it's for strictly submitting. They will say stop writing, come and submit. And then I continue write in that 10 minutes. And then the person who collects the scripts leaves. Then after 15 minutes, say for instance, it's 2 people who are writing COS, whatever it may be, this side, and then ENN got that side. Then that person leaves. Then who do I then take my script to? Do I take my script to the person who has nothing to do with what I'm writing, who is inviginating ENN, or I've lost, I did not submit because the person left? It's a similar situation. There is a time where you know that you stop writing, you focus on submitting. You don't submit, it's your baby to nurse, unfortunately. But yeah, let's not waste time. Another thing, colleagues, I believe that we're responsible. If you play music during exams, you get flagged. And someone would say that I might be hailing a neighbor who plays loud music, but you know that at 4 you are going to be writing exam and your neighbor plays music. What do you then do? Are you going to write there? Or you're going to find an alternative place to go and write in a secure environment? So those are some of the nitty-gritties that you must take care of, Yeah. Without any waste of time, we've dealt with the exam processes, we've dealt with proctoring tools, what then happens after if you are flagged now? Like, you know, what then happens? So Aus Kensani Matonzela will take us through the student disciplinary processes. Then we'll take it from there.
Good day, everyone. In Kensani, as they've said, Muhammad Manzela, I'm here to talk to you about the disciplinary processes. How many of you know that there's a disciplinary office at UNISA? Only one. There is a disciplinary office for UNISA, and we deal with all sorts of misconduct. Yeah? As a disciplinary office, we are guided by the university policy, and one of them is the Student Disciplinary Code. I would advise you all to download the Student Disciplinary Code because it has all the charges that we can charge you with for any misconduct. And there are guidelines as to our committees. We have student disciplinary committees, we have student disciplinary appeals committees. Such information you can get on the Student Disciplinary Code. The code is aimed at upholding the name and reputation of the university, maintaining order, discipline, safety, and security at the university, ensuring the integrity and academic processes of the university, and lastly, assuring the quality of the assessment processes within the university. The whole disciplinary office falls under the registrar. The types of misconducts that we come across. One, harassment. We do get a lot of that. Misrepresentation. That's giving us false information. Like you get your fraudulent certificate, you give it to UNISA, and you think that you can study with us. We can come across such and you end up coming to the disciplinary office. Exam irregularities, fraud, and for such misrepresentations, you can be suspended for a minimum of 5 years from the university. You cannot study with us or do any activities with the university. For fraud, we can also report you to the SAPS, can become a criminal charge. And then there's this plagiarism that we hear for, or copyright infringement. It is a submission of your work for assessment that was copied or reproduced from another student, from a study material, be it your textbook or study guide, or any published material. It is a dishonesty to mislead an examiner while being assessed. So when we talk of plagiarism, I heard earlier they were talking, the student was asking about copy, removing the name, and then just submitting it as your own. That is plagiarism. And even if you're writing a report or a portfolio, you take one sentence from a study guide, you take one sentence from a textbook, and you copy and paste, you put everything together, and then you submit without any acknowledgement. That is plagiarism, and we can charge you for that. Every source that you make use of, whether it's a paragraph or a single sentence, you acknowledge. But I've taken it from textbook, what, they show you how to reference in your tutorial letters. All the information is there. Okay, since the online examinations, we have a lot of misconduct. One of them is ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is asking someone to write the exam for you. You attend classes, you attend tutors, they give you solutions for the exam, you write, or they write for you. They give that work to maybe 20 students, and you come with the same work, same mistakes, everything. You give it to your lecturer, the lecturer is marking, and they can see what there's a pattern here. Why is this work from question 1 to question 5? Everything is the same, to mistakes, to similarities, everything. Then they bring you to our office and we deal with you. There's collusion. Students like working in groups. That's collusion. You work in groups, you share ideas. At the end of the day, your work is similar. We can detect that while marking, and it can also be detected by the proctoring tools, as this PD has spoken about them previously. We have document comparisons where your work is compared to other students, and the system can pick that up. There's cheating. That is where students copy and allow their work to be copied, or they do ask for assistance without permission. They refer to unauthorized notes or books, taking part in assessments pretending to be another student, or asking someone else to write for you. It's a good thing we have the invigilator app, like this PD said, where you are constantly required to upload pictures, to upload your question, the answer books and all that. So in the past, we've had cases where, an example, a student asked her sister to write an exam for her. She got good marks. But at the end, we discovered that it was fraudulent. We charged the student, and the student was suspended for more than 5 years. Imagine 5 years, you lost without your study. Students constantly make use of Studia.com and give you notes and present the work as their own. Such sites they're misleading because you find answers there and you give them to us as if it's your own work, but you've copied it from somewhere. And you find that you're not the only student who's done that. You end up with the same work again with another student. And then you wonder why we're charging you for plagiarism. Fabrication is like mostly those who are doing teaching courses, they have to do their reports or their practicals, and they tell us that the principal stamped their report, or the principal signed and gave the go-ahead. They submit to the lecturer. The lecturer finds out that there was no such thing. The student did not do the practicals, and then we can charge you for that. Plagiarism, like I said, it's a stealing of one's ideas. There is also this one thing that's called self-plagiarism. You can plagiarize your own work. That is possible. I always have problems when I get to this point because students are keen to know, how do you self-plagiarize? Okay. Let's say you have a mini dissertation that you have to do. You do that, you do your researches, you paraphrase, you give your own understanding of the report, right? And then you go ahead to your doctorate. You decide to use more or less the same topic that you use for your master's. Okay? You take the same work that you use for your master's that was created by you, and you reference it in your doctorate. You can't just write it as if it's your own work. It has been published before. So you have to go revisit and acknowledge it, even if it's your own work. You understand? Okay, in this instance, when you say acknowledgement, it means making use of bibliographies. Most students, they make use of bibliographies and they say that's it, I've referenced. You need to make use of footnotes and make use of the reference styles that are prescribed for your colleges. Reference styles differ. Like CHS, I suppose it's different from College of Law, and you need to follow your tutorial letters and familiarize yourself with what's expected of you. Okay, when it comes to disciplinary processes, the student is usually flagged by the invigilator tools, your iris, your invigilator apps, for many reasons. Could be that you were writing in groups. It could be that there was document comparison similarity, and probably the voice. When it's recording the voice, we hear that you're talking to someone else with work that's related to what you're writing about. The other way that you get flagged is when the lecturer is marking and they see that there are similarities. There's a pattern here. I've marked student 1, I've marked student 2, and everything is something fishy. So there are many ways to tell. The lecturer will then report the cases to the college AIC, which will deliberate on the cases in terms of the assessment procedural manual, which is one of the policies that we guided on in the university. Then once the matter has been approved, it's reported to our office. Once it's in our office, there's no going back. You can't negotiate with your lecturer. You can't negotiate with us. It depends on the level of severity. Depending on the severity of the case and the level of study, a warning might be issued, that the student be given the opportunity to re-register without any penalties. But should your case be referred for a formal disciplinary hearing, you will be notified of a date of your hearing. You will be notified, we'll give you the evidence as to this is what we're charging you for. Whether you cheated or you plagiarized or whatever, we give you the charges and we give you the link to the meeting of the hearing. Each matter will be heard and considered by the Student Disciplinary Committee, which is made up of different committee members from different colleges. It's not just, scoring your fate is not in the hands of just one person. It's a whole group of people who decide on your fate. And usually there's the initiator during the hearing who will bring the charges on behalf of the university. Often the lecturer is there to meet evidence. They're there to meet evidence, and the student is given the opportunity to rebut the allegations. We give you an opportunity to hear your side of the story as to what had transpired and how do you defend yourself. Depending on how you defend yourself, that will have an impact on the sanction. Depending on your level of study, that can have an impact on your sanction as well. A sanction is like a verdict or yeah. So it differs. The sanctions, they differ from first year to postgrad. When you're doing postgrad or maybe in your fourth year level of study, you're expected to know better than unlike a first year student. How many of us here are first year students? Oh, all of you. Oh, okay. This is when you need to get training. Learn how to paraphrase. Do not just copy and paste when you do your work, whether it's from your study guide or textbook or from the internet. Don't just copy and paste. Give it your own meaning. Give the answer your own meaning so that the lecturer understands. For okay, this person is learning. You're not just a parrot and repeating. And yeah, the sanctions are given. The disciplinary office will then communicate the outcome to the student. Once we give you the outcome, we give you 7 days to can appeal the decision once you've received the sanction letter. Only then we give you the opportunity to can appeal the decision. When you appeal, it goes to a totally different committee. It's no longer the one that decided your fate. It's a different committee. That committee will then weigh the options and see if the sanction is worth keeping the same, reducing, or increasing. They have the leeway to even increase if they say you suspended for 3 years. The committee has the discretion to increase it to about 5 if possible. So you need to avoid plagiarism and misconduct. In the hearings, we aim to establish the following: whether the rules have been broken or policies of the university. Are these rules reasonable and lawful? Was the university's expectation of the breach rules fair and just? So if you feel that the whole process was not fair, you have the leeway to appeal. You can appeal on 2 grounds. You're appealing the sanction that was handed out to you. You're also appealing the procedural fairness. If you feel that the university was unfair to you during the hearing, then you can appeal. Are we tired? Yeah, you had an overload of information today. I see you're tired, Chef. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, let me just say the last part. To prevent you being in the disciplinary office, avoid copy and paste. Paraphrase. Learn, recite what you've learned in your own way. Ne? Avoid making use of sites like Wustuvia and Give Me Notes. They will just mislead you. Okay. Third parties. Don't take answers or buy solutions from third parties. You'll end up in hot water, and it's not nice. Avoid using artificial intelligence programs because we can detect when you've used them. And avoid working in groups because you end up making the same mistakes and we can catch you. So all those things avoid. And if you have any queries, send them to Nelspruit disciplinary at unisa.ac.za. Again, Nelspruit disciplinary at unisa.ac.za. Tired.
There's a question. Regarding the post writing.
Yeah.
Please, in of the own office. It's a request because, like, when we are doing supplementary exams, we find those people who are writing exam or purchasing, giving us the price and everything, and never share our contact. No, we don't go for anything. We just find the message popping up, and then we are surprised. Who's this person? How do they know how many modules that I didn't do well?
We've had such questions. Internet, we had the very same question. And Dr. Mudika made it very clear for the better national crisis that we have. No, it's not that our office. If you want to write that over debt collectors, they can get your number and call you. You ask them where you get my numbers from. So it's self-restricted. That's because the woman SMS grabbing have a solution doesn't mean it's violence. Thank you. Are there any more questions? No. Okay, I want to go eat.
No, there's a question there.
There's a question there, the last one.
Okay. And I want to ask, is there a app that detects plagiarism? Number two, which work helps to reference, for example, the essay type? Or sometimes you come across maybe there's a web that say give different type of something, and to find out which maybe there's not any other ways, but it's just wait. It's just wait to wait. So I want to ask you, say, which way do we reference?
Okay, the first answer, we have taken it in. That's the one that detects plagiarism. Usually most of your submissions, they go through Turnitin, and it can detect how much similarities you have to other students or to other material online, and then given a report. And then if the lecturer will also guide to how to reduce that number and what's expected of you, what the expected amount of plagiarism you're allowed to have on a submission. The second one, you said? Usually it indicates in the tutorial letter, like your reports or your researches, you need to reference all the time. You cannot do a research without referencing any footnotes, any bibliography. But if it's like, let's say the question that asked about list 5 stay for a second day. I mean, we have to list, we can't say for it. We have to stay for about the full page number. So they differ. But you mostly guided by your tutor lectures and your lecturers. Yeah. Okay, thank you, guys.
No, thank you, Askensan. Colleagues, comrade, we understand the situation that you might be finding yourself in. And Eta, now I'm a very nice person, nice guy, but I have a simple approach of doing things. Whenever I speak, I should be the only person who is speaking. Simple like that. You are doing opposite, you are going to fight with me. Sis, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I understand the situation that you are finding yourself in. But it's unfortunate that we have to continue and finish the program. We cannot abort the program simply because you were here in all those things. And we understand that without you, there's no program that we're going to have. We are cognizant of that. But let's continue. DP is going to take us through on the role of the SRC in the disciplinary processes. Avoid. Whenever, you know, and this is a simple process. What if it's a let's say, as an overall, I this opponent use. Then I put a lot like this. I want us to maintain this. Let's respect the people who are on the platform. Your concentration level might have dropped. It's permissible. It's understandable. It's understandable. It's a human nature, but at least let us be the and feel what that. You know. So DP is going to take us through, and then I'm going to come immediately after DP. Over to you, DP.
Good afternoon, comrades, students.
Afternoon.
My name is Clarence Mawita. I'm the Deputy President of the National SRC, and then today I'll be presenting. I'm audible at the back. Okay.
You can go stand there, my man.
That's fine. That's just that is Mawita. Is it?
Yeah, there's something.
And today I'll be presenting on the role of the SRC when you are left or when you're about to be charged. So let's start. As most of you have, yes, don't know what is important in the SRC. The SRC is the Students Representative Council in the Institute of Higher Learning as empowered by the Higher Education Act of 1997. And then also, UNISA has two types of SRCs, namely the international SRC, which in this case, it is Nsabo, the Jefferson and his colleagues, which were there. So those comrades which were there, they are responsible for you in the region. Although all the programs which are facing otherwise, those comrades of Abansab, they are responsible for taking care of you on all aspects which you smart traffic to speed. And also, there's what we call the National SRC, which is the highest decision-making structure in the students' governance. And it is responsible for the day-to-day operations of all regional SRCs and representation of each constituency in various university forums and committees. So what that means is that, comrades, the National SRC, we are the highest structure. So when you go to a winter with issues of maybe NSFAS, academics or whatnot, and they can't fix those problems, they come and report to us. We are the ones responsible for all the SRCs throughout the country. As in Mpumalanga and Western Cape, we are the ones, because by the way, even sitting in council, the decision-making structure in the university, sitting the IF, having for you to get your extensions on your assignments, it is our senior structure called the Senate. So we are the highest structure in the students' governance. So it's not us, the structure of students. And then also, let's say you are flagged, because now you're going to write in make you write on maximum results, they say disciplinary. What then happens? You must go to the structure of Auskensan, which is the disciplinary, student disciplinary unit. So what is the SDC? The SDC is the Students Disciplinary Code, of which is the policy document adopted by the University Council in 2014, which is aimed at maintaining what? Law and order, upholding the academic integrity and quality of assessments for the students' population of UNISA. Like Oscar was telling you, comrades, that Charlie, that tomorrow, it's with the club or a slab, and then Tao goes and wants to open the case, will appear there. For the cause to help you or suspend or even expel you. So they check your conduct, they regulate the integrity and quality of assessments, other assignments or your exams. So when you register, at the end of the registration, there was a small but that you accept the terms and conditions of the university. Once you click on that button and say I accept, then automatically the SDC or the students' code of conduct is binding on you. So now you are forced to follow protocol. The proctoring tools, the exam processes and everything, by virtue of saying I accept the rules and the terms and conditions, now there's no turning back. So the presentations which were made here, they're very important because you are forced, as you voluntarily accepted the rules and conditions. So what is our rule in the SDC when you are charged? Because let's say now you are charged, and by the way, if you don't know, if you suspend you or expel you, you will never study in a university or public. That's a good for which you are roasted and whatnot. So you must know the implications of finding yourself in this committee. You can't go anywhere. Do J forget, you L forget, you MP forget, can't go anywhere. Because one of the biggest institution in South Africa. No one can go anywhere once you're board bands. So the SDC, the SDC gives the SRC the power to represent students in the proceedings as per the clause there, 4.2 in the Students' Code of Conduct, with one national SRC member given an observer status, and in this case it is me. I'm the one sitting there. So if you miss May, June, you must cooperate, comrades. So, by the way, any student pledged for academic misconduct has the right to approach any SRC member, either regionally or nationally, to the SDC for representation. So if you get pending after you send your exams and don't know how to work, because they'll give you a charge sheet with the evidence that they have against you, by the way. And then there, in that thing of the disciplinary, there are only two people can represent you. A that is a staff member be it your lecturer, supervisor, some of the staff member, or the SRC. So your lawyer doesn't come and give inputs in the SDC, or your mother, or your father, or your uncle, or even your family. That's us. Hence, when I said that when we are flags, we've got any right or any power to say, comrade, and what the power as per the prescription by the student code of conduct to represent me. So these comrades must not shy away from assisting you, comrade students. So let's say when you approach Nzago and his colleagues in the region, say, no, I'm glad, please assist me, then they dodge you, or they just don't take your issue serious. You can reach out to the National SRC Deputy President for allocation of what representative. So if they can assist you, I will take it upon myself to look for a representative for you. Other Professor 10, sites or wherever, I will get to someone to come and go and represent you if you need such representation. Yeah, I think it was covered by Auskansani, the tautology. They told you what this thing of plagiarism. Also must teach as well. I mustn't just delay. Or want me to go through it. Cheating was covered. And then I think Oscar partially covered this part as well, as to how to avoid academic misconduct. So the first one, when we registered, there was a letter of given to me or on my visa. There's what we call letter 101. That thing it is very important because it tells you the books which you must use, the types of referencing methods which are prescribed for your module, under this Harvard or Scholar or APA. It tells you. So you mustn't rush to the assignments and the part of the books only without going through. If it was even there in that thing, they warn you about academic misconduct. So also the issue of copy and pasting is an academic misconduct or academic sin, by the way. Avoid buying answers from the internet site. It was raised. You are studying, like you are studying here. You are giving notes. All these funny sites. Don't buy those things from raise. Or tutors who normally send SMSs to students like my brother there. If they send 120 or 150 for an assignment or a portfolio, I mean, if you take it, so you must avoid those issues. So, and also during exams, avoid sharing answers. So this is Telegram or WhatsApp or whatnot. Because if you share answers, and then your answers are the same, they don't investigate the source. Even though there's a group of WhatsApp whereby there are people communicating, even though, but they're not being a participant, but when that group are going to appear, because you are the one colluding with them. So when you're at exams, it's the group or not the group. Just for process to be handled correctly. And the end, thanks very much.
Thank you, DP. Indeed, you remain the voice of the students, the voice of the voiceless. Colleagues, we've had different presentations from different departments, but the essence of what all my colleagues were presenting on, from the exam, proctoring tools, DC and the DP, they are simply saying that let us strive to maintain the academic integrity. It is not doing anyone's favor but ourselves. You must remember that some of you are doing your accounting. If you compromise the academic integrity, we are running a risk of being, the accreditation being withdrawn. Law, those who are doing law as well, at some point we're at risk to say that accreditation might be withdrawn. But also the potential employers, they do not want people that they know that they can't produce, you know, people that were produced through, you know, someone once said, or the recent crop is the cell phone graduates, you know, you just phone each other while you are writing, or you just WhatsApp each other while you are writing, you get answers, you do all those things, you cheat. But when you are expected to do the actual work, you can't perform, you know. I mean, imagine an employer employs you, and then the first thing when you arrive at work, you ask, when am I going to be trained for computer literacy? We've employed the wrong person. We might as well as terminate, you know, or allow you to serve a probation. After probation, we don't take you. So it will not only do the institution good, but it will do you good. But most of us, we come from underprivileged families. You know, education remains the necessary tool that we want to use to change our conditions. Imagine finding yourself in a situation where you are going to be expelled or suspended and you don't get your degree. What are you going to report to your parents? What are you going to say to them? I know there's what we call what would people say, you know, syndrome. Many of our peers, colleagues, they are in the streets begging, and not simply because of it's their choice, but the decisions that they've made haunted them, you know. So I'm not going to be long because I know, as a matter of fact, that you've been here. The concentration span of an individual can go up until a certain point. So with that being said, let me take this opportune time to thank you for the maximum discipline that you've demonstrated, but also for showing up. In closing, I'm going to allow Chairperson to address us in terms of FAO. When he do those things, I would have closed the session. Immediately after the Chairperson, that the Mpumalanga says he has announcement that he wants to make, or perhaps before, because if I do this, that Mpumalanga, we are not going to take the audience. That Mpumalanga, I just want to make an announcement, then I'll close after. Over to you.
Thank you, Chair, for the question. Just two things. Afternoon. The first one